What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with a special episode, an actual war recap from Genesis. I thought about making this just an Elite 8 video, but honestly, that would be doing this war a disservice because some of the Town Hall 9 attacks were equally as amazing. In case you didn't know, ClashHeads T7 reached out to Genesis. They decided to do an arranged war, set it up, hammered out the details, and got the matchup. And this is probably, actually, it's most likely the highest level war that has ever taken place at this level. Both clans had, I think, 16 or 17 Town Hall 9s and the rest Town Hall 8s. Now, that's not, there's no Town Hall 10, so don't be too surprised that it's a perfect war on both sides, because when you have two high-level clans going at it like this and there's no Town Hall 10s to worry about, you're going to have some perfect wars. But that being said, it wasn't a guarantee on either side. I mean, it came down to the wire. At the very end of this war, if you guys didn't catch it on Twitch, you missed out. I mean, it was close. They were just a few stars apart, and both clans, it came down to the last few minutes, both clans had one Town Hall 9 to clean, and ClashHeads only, T7 only had one attack to do it with, so tons of pressure on them. Genesis had 3 attacks on the same base they could try, but they only used one of them, so ended the war with 2 attacks left over. It could have ended the war with 2 attacks over. LB went ahead and did another attack, but it was just an extra attack. Didn't need to be done. The perfect score was already accomplished, so excellent job to both clans. I mean, just amazing. There was excellent attacks on both sides. You guys just don't, I mean, again, it was so exciting at the end. And this was Genesis's first arranged matchup. I mean, this was their first venture into this stuff, and it would be like deciding for your first tattoo to get a full back piece. I mean, they went in, found the hardest war they could against ClashHeads T7, just a very high level clan that's also, has a lot of Town Hall 8s. Just like Genesis has in the past. Now, Genesis is moving away from that slowly, but still, it was appropriate that this was their first war. I think there had been, these two had been eyeing each other across the bar for a long time, and to duke it out was just what needed to happen. That being said, it was a very professional war. There was not a lot of trash talking from what I saw anyways. Both sides just had a great, fun, competitive war. So props to ClashHeads T7, props to Genesis. Let's get into some attacks, though, because you guys are going to like these. I guarantee it. Number 2, Thor. There was quite a few. You'll see some names here that you recognize, LB, Armando. There were some guys from OneHive come over to sort of make this matchup work with Town Hall weights and whatnot. Same on the other side. ClashHeads T7 had some guys from, I think, ClashHeads AR and from ClashHeads come over, just make the war weights work. But I'm going to focus on guys that are from Genesis that you've not seen before. You've seen Armando and LB and all the guys from OneHive. So I'm going to show you ones that you might not have seen before. The first one's Thor here, doing a really nice attack. I love this attack. It's one we don't see much. I mean, it's a excuse me, go low wee wee attack. I mean, we don't, not that it's not effective, you just don't see it much. Usually you see hogs or just a few back end loons with a big go, just a go wee basically. And this was perfect because you see he's got 4 witches, brings a couple of golems, wall breakers into this one large compartment here, and then with a jump can basically, knowing that his queen's going to get that left side air defense, can get to all 3 remaining air defenses. You see a lava hound come out of the CC, drops down all those witches, those skeletons start running in there, gives them a rage. They're just going to move their way through the base. Here in just a moment, you're going to see there's a heal for them, and right there's the jump, letting them into the other compartments where the air defense are located. And one thing I really like about this attack is look right there, that one balloon. That's a distracted archer tower. Now it finally turns around and gets on the balloon. But when you're doing a go-ho with hogs or with balloons or whatever, if you'll really pay attention to what defenses are distracted, you can sneak some in like that and get 1-for-1 trades, and it makes it so much more so much more effective and efficient. Right there, drops 1 balloon on that mortar because all you need is 1 drop and a crash to take that out, and while it's distracted, 2 balloons on the archer tower. So just beautiful, effective balloon deployment is what really set this attack apart, in my opinion. Right here, you'll see the last air defense is about to go down, and then Thor can just unleash the hounds. He's got 8 more balloons left. Right there, again, a distracted archer tower for a moment, and then just sending the rest in. Just just going to crush what's left in this base. You see the X-bow in the core there, or towards the middle, is targeting those troops in the core for a moment, and by the time it turns and faces the balloons, it's way too late. They're just swarming on it. Clean up troops everywhere. The queen's still up. Just a beautiful attack by Thor. Absolutely dominated that base in a very interesting, different strategy than what we see on a day-to-day basis at Town Hall 9. So I enjoyed it. Good job, buddy. All right, the next one let's look at. Guys, this was the one, and I'm going to have to go in here to show you because I'll be a little bit faster, but this was the one at the end. This was the last base. Everybody was hyped up. You can imagine in group, in chat, game chat, in group me, on the Twitch channel, it was going nuts when this attack was going live. Everybody wanted to know if it was going to, be a tie because ClashHeads had already achieved the perfect war at this point. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but they had, the pressure was on Genesis. They had to get this last base just to tie. There was no more win. It was just a matter of everybody having a perfect war. And again, they had 3 attacks to go on this base. They could have tried it 3 times with the same base, and it had already been hit once, I think, with a scout attack. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. But it had already been hit once. But again, just 1 attack needed. Trigger Man comes in. Couple of golems go down, starts creating that funnel, pushing in the queen, the king, drops that rage spell and a jump. Everything's right there for them. They can move right in. Finally, the queen comes over, starts helping out with those balloons, taking them out, and just a few hogs, like I talked about, distracted buildings, took those out pretty easily, and then starts in with the surgical deployment at this point. The queen's down. The defensive king's about to go down, so that's a nice bonus to get him out of the way as well. I don't have to worry about him picking off hogs towards the end. And then again, just nice, patient, surgical deployment, working its way around the base. You see that jump spell, pay attention right there in the core. Lets that king in. That helps out, gets in there, starts doing a little bit of tanking for the archer tower, for that X-bow. That's beautiful. And look at this heal spell right here. Keeps this group of hogs up. And it's right there, a nice split on that air sweeper, and gets the double bomb set. So that's pretty big at the end of this raid to get that double bomb set triggered like he did. Didn't lose many hogs from it. And then drops that last heal right here, just right amongst the last group of defenses. You see the skeletons are there. He's got a poison for him. As soon as they get over here towards this last Tesla, drops that poison, takes those out. Does get a glancing blow from that last giant bomb, but just 1 defense left. Has nice spread on his cleanup. And I mean, at this point, it was going to be kind of close. I mean, it wasn't like he had, a minute and a half left at this point. It was coming down to, it was going to be in the last 10 seconds whether he cleaned it up or not. So people were kind of going crazy. Is he going to get it? Is he not? And then the Woo train broke out. Everybody was pumped up and celebrating that, they had achieved the perfect war and tied up. So excellent attack by Triggerman. Good job, buddy. Now, let's focus on some Town Hall 8 attacks because there was some really, really nice ones. This is where you really learn stuff. When, so much of what Genesis does is just they're crushing people because they're so far ahead of most Town Hall 8, heavy clans that you don't get to go up against these solid, well thought out bases like you're going to in a range war like this. So I know, Genesis is just, you can tell they're hooked, they're in, they want to do range wars all the time now because it's so much more fun. It really is. You get to test yourself, you get to test your bases. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit when we show a few of their attacks because honestly, there's guys in Genesis that have used the same base for a long time because they don't go up against guys that really know how to wreck it. So this exposed some weaknesses on their bases. I know they love that because it just makes you better. It makes you better all around. So excellent job to ClashHeads for providing that solid war, that steel sharpened steel type thing. Just both clans going at it and making each other better. That's awesome to see. Just gets the easy CC lure, brings it out, takes care of it right there, drops down the king, which I like, distracting for all this, taking out that mortar, and then drops those CC troops. Go ahead and getting those level 5 hogs in early. I love that. That's your, to have them in your CC is big, and a lot of people save them for the end of the raid. I like to see them get down right away because they're the strongest hogs you've got. Let them do the most work. Let them shoulder some of the damage, let them have their DPS that is cumulative over the life of the raid, take out more defenses, all of that good stuff. But you see right here, just dropping the heals down, working them through. Really, this right here, this base, I hope if you guys didn't pay attention to that, and I was talking, I should have been pointing that out. I want you to look how well the giant bomb pathing on this base was set up. There was no way to get those hogs in there to where they didn't come around from the long side of those bombs and trigger. But because of the power of surgical hogs, you see he's got a group left. Had he had just a 2-finger drop on that, it'd have been bacon. The whole raid would have been over. But if you need to rewind, look at the hog pathing. There is no way to send those hogs into where they're going to come at that short side. Excellent excellent giant bomb setup and pathing by Hell's Eye there at ClashHeads T7. I mean, that's against what I'm talking about. They don't get to go against bases that are that well laid out on a day-to-day basis. So to do it and to be successful at it, excellent job, Zypher. Beautiful hog deployment, way to keep them separate, do that surgical deployment, and still get the 3-star. So good job, man. All right, moving on. Let's look at this one. You guys will like this. Giselle. Excellent attack. Excellent attack. Love this one. The giant bomb set is in the core. So, I mean, to get in there, you see there is some large compartments, but just uses one golem, creates this nice wide funnel, has a max P.E.K.K.A. in the CC, and I guess that's Jazzle. Jazzle is going all the way to the core. He's going to trigger that double bomb set. So, long journey and got to get in there and get it done. And there's no way to really wall breaker through. And when those max walls just drops that rage down, I like the poison just to slow things down there. Not going to take anything out, but it's also going to buy him a little bit of time to deal with that king, not to deal with everything at once. And then boom, those rage wizards take out that balloon real quick. And you see how quickly that max P.E.K.K.A. gets through that wall under rage. Just a few swipes. But more importantly, look what happens here. Gets in right here in just a moment. You're going to head over towards that Tesla, and boom, boom, double bomb set eliminated. You see the hogs coming in from the sides here, just dropping some heals down for him, just surgical deployment. But with the double bomb set gone, the king dead, the CC troops taken care of, pretty much this is GG. Just has to send his hogs in a smart way, put those heals in decent places, and that's going to be that. So excellent attack. I love the golem and the P.E.K.K.A. getting to that core and triggering those bombs. Really nicely done. All right, let's look at one more Town Hall 8 from Genesis here. Let's look at Jeff, taking out number 25 right here. All right, another Goho. This is what I told you guys. When you have these high level wars, you're going to see a lot of Goho. It's just the way it is. It's what works. When you have these bases that have these excellent, tricky hog pathing, you got to use your troops wisely to get in there and get those triggered, because you can't just spam your hogs in. The base is designed to take care of that. So just gets the easy CC lure, brings him over to the side here. Got a Valk in there. It's going to take care of pretty quick. Boom, it goes down. A minion there, and then a couple of balloons that are going to come out. He's just going to, let's see, what's he going to do with that? A couple of minions of his own. Those wizards are going to go down pretty quick, but they're also going to be taking out the balloons as they go. So right there, he's got one wizard that made it through. The minions took care of it for the most part. And then here comes the golem down. The wizards starting to create the funnel. He also, I believe, has a max P.E.K.K.A. in the CC. I'm not sure that's where he wanted his wall breakers to go. I think he wanted them to go through this compartment with the archer tower and the wizard tower, but no big deal. He drops the rage there, and in just a moment, you're going to see they bust right through this wall. Another wall breaker under that rage opens it up and then actually gets all the way into the core. Boom. That's the great thing about that rage and wall breaker technique. If you have them rage, only one wall breaker will bust through even max Town Hall 8 walls under that rage spell. So that's beautiful. And then right there, you'll see the king gets into that section, the golem, the P.E.K.K.A. are going, and that's where the double bomb set is. I think they don't actually even trigger. Yeah, right there it is. Other one's triggered. Double bomb set's gone. The third bomb's already triggered on the left side, keeping those hogs healed up. But you see, not only do they get in there and trigger the double bombs, look at the tanking they're doing. Those golemites, that golem, the P.E.K.K.A., they were tanking for, almost 4 or 5 defenses, their point defenses, as the hogs move their ways through. So the hogs are taking no damage. Look how many hogs he's got left. Just an absolute ton. They're obviously your best cleanup troop. The king sort of reroutes back out of his, because he was out of his radius once that hog died. But here in just a moment, they're going to get locked onto him and take him out, and that's going to be that. So excellent attack by Jeff. Really did enjoy it, man. All right, guys, that is it for the Genesis side. But I just wanted to show a few attacks from ClashHeads T7 because they had some excellent attacks, and because it's such an epic war. They deserve some recognition as well on their side. The one on the only Town Hall 9 I think I really want to show on that side is of Jaden. This is the one where all the pressure was on. Jaden the Hulk was y'all. There was one attack left. She had a 3-star. I think it's a she. I'm sorry if it's not Jaden. I assume it's a she. Had to 3-star this base. It was one attack, one base. Had to do it. Otherwise, obviously, they would have lost the war. And just rose to the occasion. No telling how much pressure just was the weight of the world on Jaden. But steps up and gets the 3-star. So it was, again, that sort of turned the tide. Genesis was in the driver's seat to that point. They had 3 attacks for one base. ClashHeads had 1 attack for one base. So all the pressure was on ClashHeads. But as soon as Jaden does this 3-star, turns it around, and all the pressure's on Genesis. So really a clutch attack that made the war what it was. Just drops a few golems down, a few wizards for the funnel, the jump, heroes, everything's going right in here. You see the queen is going to be pretty accessible. Immediately drops that poison just to soften those troops up and slow them down. Give the kill squad a little bit of time to clear everything out of the way. And you see before the CC troops are taken care of, before the queen's even really engaged, Jaden is sending in his or her lava hounds, balloons, just sending them all different directions, and really nice deployment on the balloons and the hounds, I'll have to say. When I was watching this attack live, I actually did catch it live on the stream. I thought it was over because I did not see on the stream. I thought that Jaden was out of lava hounds, and there was one hiding there. And all these balloons had worked their way to the bottom, and you'll see at the top here, there was a Tesla and an Archer Tower left. But right there, I didn't see that lava hound that sort of hiding on that balloon on that X-bow. So I thought, oh man, this is over. You know, the balloons are going to get picked off as they're moving in. They're too slow. There could be a trap there, whatever. But that lava hound pops out afterwards. I thought, oh no, it's over. The 3-star was there. So excellent attack. It really, really was. Absolutely crushed it. When you get to the end here, he's got one balloon left just to deploy for cleanup or whatever. I think he actually holds on to it. No need. Really, really nice attack, honestly. So thought that one would need to be shown because it was such a pivotal point in the war. Then a couple of Town Hall 8s that I just liked. And again, this goes back to what I was talking about of when you have good attackers, they expose weaknesses in your bases that you normally don't see. And this is a good example of that. Whip Love from T7 coming in. Look at this opener of this attack here. Taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenses and triggering a giant bomb. Excuse me, 6 defenses if you count the air sweeper, and triggering a giant bomb here in a second. Now it's a pretty big investment. Uses a heal, and I didn't count the hogs, but a bunch. Also drops that poison down there, right there, that giant bomb. Now guys, this base, and I believe that was where the double bomb set was in this base. But this base at this point is crippled. This is a technique that you see sometimes at Town Hall 9, to where you'll use an opener like that to get in there and get the CC lure and take out several defenses plus trigger a giant bomb. But you don't see it a lot at Town Hall 8. So that's a base weakness. It honestly is. There's something that needs to be adjusted there with just, I don't know how many hogs that was, if it was 6 or 8 hogs, 10 hogs maybe. But with that many hogs, you shouldn't be able to do that with the CC, you know, not even emptied out yet. The king on that side, that side, that's a weakness on that base. So those type of things being exposed are invaluable in a war like this. You're going to learn from it. You're going to adjust your base from it. So excellent job to Whip Love identifying that. This was a cleanup attack. So knew he could get in there. And that's just understanding hog pathing. Knowing that his hogs are going to go that direction. They're going to get in there to the core, and knowing about how many to bring with that heal to get the job done. So excellent attack there. You see, and then just starts pulling the surgical hogs around the base, dropping those heals where they're needed to take care of his troops. You see there are some pesky skeletons beating on the hogs because he's already used his poison, has nothing for those, but just being very patient on that last heal. Right there, dropping it down. Has a few wizards for cleanup. Has his king still. I'm surprised he didn't use that king on the backside just to do a little bit of tanking for his hogs, but drops it. Oh, I'm sorry, the king was already down. I'm sorry, that was wrong. Has the king's ability still. But right there, everything goes down. That's that. A lot of cleanup to do, but quite a few hogs left to do it with. Wizards are spread out nicely. Hogs right here get in. That second bomb goes off, and then boom, right there, the king goes down, and that's that. So excellent attack by Whip Love, and again, exposing a weakness on Zypher's base, so that's good. One more sort of similar thing, 26 here. Bossaroni on number 26. Same sort of thing, just with this opener, was able to get too much, you know, and that's something that the coder's going to have to adjust here, because coming in from a few sides here, again, look how many hogs, but probably send in 8 or 9 hogs, maybe 10, maybe not that many, 6 or 8, comes in, takes out 2 defenses, and then gets into the core, drops that poison to slow those troops down, and then right here, gets all the way through, takes out 2 more defenses, and gets the double bomb set. Look at that, guys. This base is done. I mean, seriously, this base is done. Gets a skeleton triggered, gets the CC lure, gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenses, and a set of double bombs, both of them triggered for, let's call it 8 hogs in the heel. That is a weakness in the base. That base needs to be tweaked and moved around. But excellent job by Bossaroni exposing it and exploiting that weakness of this base. Very good attack. Again, there is just no chance this is not a 3-star at this point. Takes care of the CC troops, starts sending in its hogs, and we'll fast forward because really, again, not much left to say about this. I mean, the damage is done. The base is wrecked. Just has to drop those heals that are remaining for the hogs in decent places, and that's going to be that. I like the backside king there. Do a little bit of tanking on that cannon on the outside. Just a really, really nice attack. Again, good job, boss. But that is it, guys. Epic War, in my opinion, the highest level, the most exciting Town Hall 8 and 9 war that has ever occurred. So congratulations to everyone that was involved on both sides for being involved in it. Awesome. Just awesome. Maybe they can do it again in the future. Again, it's not something that it was like easy for both sides to completely clean up everything. It came down to the wire. It really did. So nice job to everybody. Congratulations to both clans on the tie. I know that neither clan really wanted it to be a tie, but sometimes that's just the way it is. I guess if we're looking at it fairly, I'm going to give the win to Genesis because they used 2 less attacks. Just joking. It was a tie. Good job, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, Jake from OneHive reminding you guys to suck less.